Welcome to Story Station, episode 36. In this episode, you can listen to two South American stories. The first story is titled, How the Monkey Escaped Being Eaten. All this poor monkey wanted to do was play his guitar. The second story is titled, How the Brazilian beetles got their gorgeous coats. Why does the Brazilian beetle have such a beautiful coat, and the rat such a dull one? Here's a hint. It was all determined by one big race. Hope you enjoy it! I'll read a story entitled, How the Monkey Escaped Being Eaten. Once upon a time, ages and ages ago, people ate fruits and nuts. Then there came a time when the fruits and nuts became scarce, so people had to eat meat. They began killing the various beasts to see which ones were the best to eat. They skinned them and cut them into pieces and cooked them over the fire. Some of the beasts were good to eat, and others were not good at all. The ox was found to be very good, and so was the sheep and the armadillo. Then, one day a man thought that he would try to eat the monkey. The monkey was just playing his guitar. Lee, 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 lay, lee, 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 lay. The man came closer to him and said, "Come here, little monkey. Let me hear your music. I enjoy it very much." All the time, the man was coming closer and closer to the monkey. Just as he was about to stretch out his hand and seize the monkey gave a sudden leap to the tree and hurried away to the treetop. After that, every time the man heard the monkey play the guitar, he would come near and try to catch him. The monkey grew afraid of the man, so afraid that he gave up playing his guitar at all. For a long, long time he didn't play it. Then one day he felt that he just must have some music. He hid in a hole in the ground, and there he played upon his guitar. He did not think the man would hear him, but the man had very sharp ears. When he got through playing, he started to come out of the hole in the ground. There was the man waiting for him! He crawled quickly back, so far back that the man couldn't catch him. The monkey waited and waited for the man to go away, but he didn't leave. After a while the man became thirsty and went to get a drink. He left his little boy in his place to watch for the monkey. After the man had gone away, the monkey called out to the little boy, "Oh little boy, oh little boy, don't you wish that you could see the monkey dance?" The little boy replied that he wished he could. "Just put your eyes down to the door of my little cave, and I'll let you see the monkey dance, little boy," said the monkey. The little boy put his eyes down close to the hole in the ground. No sooner had he done so than the monkey threw dirt in the little boy's eyes. When he was rubbing his eyes to get the dirt out of them, the monkey made a sudden dash out of the cave and escaped to the treetops. When the man returned, the little boy did not dare tell him that the monkey had escaped. The man waited and waited and waited there by the hole in the ground. At last he became tired of waiting and he went away. After that, the man tried harder than ever to catch the monkey. If he hadn't had good luck to catch the monkey napping one day, there is no knowing when he would have got his hands upon him. One day, however, he caught the monkey napping. He shut him up in a box and carried him home to the children for supper. The man put a big dish full of water over the fire, ready to cook it. Then he went away to collect more fuel for the fire. The monkey and his guitar were shut up in the box, and there, inside the box, the monkey played on his guitar. Lee, 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 lay, lee, lay, lee, ray, lee, ray. The children came crowding close to the box. Oh children, said the monkey. Don't you wish that you could see the monkey dance? The children replied that they wished they could. This box is so small, and there is not enough room for me to dance here, said the monkey. Just let me out, and I'll show you how well I can dance. The children opened the box and let the monkey out into the room. The monkey played on his guitar. Lee 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 lay lee lay lee ray lee ray, and he danced about the room. Then he said, oh children, you have nothing at all in that cooking pot over the fire. Let us put something into the pot to cook. The children thought that it would not be polite to tell the monkey what the pot of water was waiting for, so they let the monkey fill the pot as he liked. He put into it some little dry sticks and an empty coconut shell. Then he said, oh children, I cannot dance any more. It is so hot here in this room. The children begged him to dance some more. If you'll open the door a little bit, so I can have more air to breathe, I'll show you a new dance, said the monkey. The children opened the door. The monkey danced over to the door, and out of the door away to the treetop. That was the last they ever saw of him. He moved to a different part of the country after that experience. When the man came home with fuel for the fire, the children did not dare tell him that the monkey had escaped. They let him think that the sticks and the coconut shell in the pot was the monkey. He built a big roaring fire under the pot, and soon it was boiling merrily. After the pot had boiled a while, he called the children to come to supper with him. The children let him taste first. He fished a hard stick out of the pot and bit into it. This is not the monkey's leg, it's just a dry stick, he said as he made a wry face. Then he fished the empty coconut shell out of the pot. That's not the monkey's head, he said as he tasted it. That's just an empty coconut shell. He couldn't find a single trace of the monkey in that monkey stew, and he never wished to make monkey stew again. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. The next story begins in a moment. I will read a story called How the Brazilian Beetles Got Their Gorgeous Coats. In Brazil, the beetles have such beautifully colored, hard-shelled coats upon their backs that they are often set in pins and necklaces like precious stones. Once upon a time, years and years ago, they had ordinary plain brown coats. This is how it happened that the Brazilian beetle earned a new coat. One day, a little brown beetle was crawling along a wall when a big gray rat ran out of a hole in the wall and looked down scornfully at the little beetle. "Oh," he said to the beetle, "how slowly you crawl along. You'll never get anywhere in the world. Just look at me and see how fast I can run." The big gray rat ran to the end of the wall, wheeled around, and came back to the place where the little beetle was slowly crawling along, at only a tiny distance from where the rat had left her. "Don't you wish you could run like that?" said the big gray rat to the little brown beetle. "You surely are a fast runner," replied the little brown beetle politely. Her mother had always taught her to be polite, and had often said to her that a really polite beetle never boasts about her own accomplishments. The little brown beetle never boasted a single boast about the things she could do. She just went on slowly crawling along the wall. A bright green and gold parrot in the mango tree over the wall had heard the conversation. "How would you like to race with the beetle?" he asked the big gray rat. "I live next door to the tailor bird," he added, "and just to make the race exciting, I'll offer a bright colored coat as a prize to the one who wins the race. You may choose it for any color you like, and I'll have it made to order. "I'd like a yellow coat with stripes like the tiger's," said the big gray rat, looking over his shoulder at his gaunt gray sides, as if he were already admiring his new coat. "Yes, I'd like a beautiful bright colored new coat too," said the little brown beetle. The big gray rat laughed long and loud, until his gaunt gray sides were shaking. "Why, you talk just as if you thought you had a chance to win the race," he said, when he could speak. The bright green and gold parrot set the royal palm tree at the top of the cliff as the goal of the race. He gave the signal to start, and then he flew away to the royal palm tree to watch for the end of the race. The big gray rat ran as fast as he could. Then he thought how very tired he was getting. "What's the use of hurrying?" he said to himself. "The little brown beetle cannot possibly win. If I were racing with somebody who could really run, it would be different." Then he started to run more slowly, but every time his heart beat, it said, "Hurry up! Hurry up!" The big gray rat decided that it was best to obey the little voice, so he hurried just as fast as he could. When he reached the royal palm tree at the top of the cliff, he could hardly believe his eyes. He thought he must be having a bad dream. There was the little brown beetle sitting quietly beside the bright green and gold parrot. The big gray rat had never been so surprised in all his life. "How did you ever manage to run fast enough to get here so soon?" he asked the brown beetle as soon as he could catch his breath. The little brown beetle drew out the tiny wings from her sides. "Nobody said anything about having to run to win the race," she replied, "so I flew instead." "I didn't know you could fly," said the big gray rat in a subdued little voice. "After this," said the bright green and gold parrot, "never judge anyone by his looks alone. You can never tell how often or where you might find concealed wings. You have lost the prize." Then the parrot turned to the brown beetle, who was waiting quietly at his side. "What color do you want your new coat to be?" he asked. The brown beetle looked up at the bright green and gold parrot, at the green and gold palm trees above their heads, at the green mangoes with golden flushes on their cheeks lying on the ground underneath the mango trees, at the golden sunshine upon the distant green hills. "I choose a coat of green and gold," she said. From that day to this, the Brazilian beetle has worn a coat of green with golden lights upon it. And for years and years, Brazilian beetles were all very proud to wear green and gold coats, like that of the beetle who raced with the rat. Then, once upon a time, it happened that there was a little beetle who grew discontented with her coat of green and gold. She looked up at the blue sky and out at the blue sea, and wished that she had a blue coat instead. She talked about it so much that finally her mother took her to the parrot who lived next to the bird. "You may change your coat for a blue one," said the parrot, "but if you change, you'll have to give up something." "Oh, I'll gladly give up anything, if only I may have a blue coat instead of a green and gold one," said the discontented little beetle. When she received her new coat, she thought it was very beautiful. It was a lovely shade of blue, and it had silvery white lights upon it, like the light of the stars. When she put it on, however, she discovered that it was not hard like the green and gold one. From that day to this, the blue beetles' coats have not been hard and firm. That is the reason why the jewelers have difficulty in using them in pins and necklaces like the other beetles. From the moment that the little beetle put on her new blue coat, she never grew again. And from that day to this, the blue beetles have always been much smaller than the green and gold ones. When the Brazilians made their flag, they took it for a square of green, the color of the green beetle's coat. Within the square they placed a diamond of gold, like the golden lights which play upon the green beetle's back. Then, within the diamond, they drew a circle to represent the round earth, and they colored it blue like the coat of the blue beetle. Upon the blue circle, they placed stars of silvery white, like the silvery white lights on the back of the blue beetle. About the blue circle of the earth, which they thus pictured, they drew a band of white, and upon this band they wrote the motto of their country, Ordem y Progresso, order and progress. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Thank you for listening to Story Station. We are adding stories as frequently as possible, so check back often. We would love to hear your feedback and any questions you may have. Thank you.